Have you ever wondered if we're alone in the universe, or if there's more to reality than meets the eye? What if the James Webb Telescope showed us we live inside a black hole? Let's talk about this news that could flip everything you thought you knew about the universe upside down. So, what are black holes? They're like something from a nightmare. You've probably seen them in sci-fi movies, but they're way weirder in reality. Experts say black holes are just a ton of stuff jammed into a tiny space. Imagine a star bigger than the sun squished into an area the size of New York City. The gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. Ever since scientists considered them, they've been captivated by these super heavy, dense objects that can trap light. Einstein's theory of general relativity predicted their existence. If a massive star collapses, it leaves behind a dense core. If that core is heavy enough, gravity takes over and makes a black hole. It's tricky to spot black holes because they don't give off any light. But scientists have figured out how to find them by watching how they affect nearby stuff. If a black hole passes through space stuff, it sucks that stuff in. And if a star gets too close, the black hole can rip it apart, which releases X-rays. Black holes mess with their surroundings big time. They can eat stars, shoot out gas, and even affect how new stars form. Where do black holes come from? Stars can explode in a supernova. Black holes form from the leftovers of these explosions. Most black holes come from massive stars that went supernova. Smaller stars become neutron stars when they die. Neutron stars are super dense, but not dense enough to trap light. If a star is way bigger than our sun, it collapses and forms a black hole. As this happens, time gets weird near the black hole. If you're far away, time seems to slow down near the event horizon, which is the point of no return. It's like the star's clock is running slower than ours. Sometimes, two small black holes smash together to make a bigger one. And if a black hole messes with a neutron star, things get really crazy. Scientists have been trying to understand these phenomena for a while now. Black holes come in different sizes. But even the small ones are huge. The leftovers of giant stars can be 10 times the sun's size. There could be tons of them in our galaxy, maybe even a billion. And then there are even bigger black holes. These are millions or billions of times bigger than the sun, and they hang out in the middle of galaxies, like our Milky Way. Stephen Hawking talked a lot about black holes. His ideas were interesting, but some of them couldn't be proven back then. But now, the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, is changing everything. The JWST isn't your average telescope. It's an amazing feat of engineering. We've launched telescopes before, but this one is next level. It makes the Hubble look tiny. This thing cost a whopping $10 billion. NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency worked together, along with over 300 universities. It was risky, but worth it. After a good launch, NASA said the telescope has enough fuel to last twice as long. Since then, the JWST has done some impressive stuff. It traveled over 1 million miles to orbit the Sun. It unfolded its sun shield and giant mirror. NASA aligned and calibrated it, and now it is ready to go. One of the coolest moments was when NASA released the first images of starlight. The first picture was of a star called HD 8446, which showed up as 18 spots because of the mirror. Later, NASA combined those 18 spots into one picture. With its advanced tech, the JWST will help scientists study the early universe after the Big Bang. It'll focus on the time when the first stars formed. It can look back billions of years, which is only possible with a telescope like this. The telescope will also help find exoplanets. It can see these planets in detail, even their atmospheres. Knowing about their atmospheres can help us figure out if they can support life. Besides planets, scientists are studying galaxies to see how matter is organized. This helps us understand how the universe changed and how galaxies formed. One of the JWST's goals is to look at the first galaxies to learn more about this. Scientists are also trying to understand how we got the galaxies we see today. Most importantly, the James Webb Space Telescope will help us answer some big questions. Are we alone? Are we living inside a black hole? The JWST has already found carbon compounds around supermassive black holes in 3 galaxies. These molecules are everywhere, from galaxies to comets. They might be the building blocks of life, and they help astronomers track star formation. But here's the catch: an astrophysicist found that the radiation near black holes was messing with these compounds, turning them into bigger versions. The smaller ones disappeared. So, the real question isn't just whether we're alive. It's, is everything there? Does everything around us exist because of how we see it? Or are we trapped inside something bigger? Could we be living in a black hole and not even know it? These questions make you think about what's real. Could our reality be fake? Is it just a small part of something way bigger? The idea that we might be living inside a black hole challenges everything we know about the universe. What if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning? What if it happened inside something else? Maybe we're just tiny parts of a huge cosmic thing. As we learn more about black holes, we open up new possibilities. The mystery surrounding black holes still exists, and that continues to spark the minds of scientists and philosophers. Could there be other universes out there? Could black holes be the key to finding them? The James Webb Space Telescope represents the next step in our to the unknown. It has already found things we never thought possible. As it looks deeper into space, it might answer the questions we've been asking for centuries. Are we alone? Are we part of something bigger? Maybe the answers aren't just about stars and galaxies, but about the nature of everything. Are we living in a black hole, or are we just reflections of something more mysterious? Maybe the search will take us to new places and change how we see the world. So, what are black holes, anyway? They're like something from a scary dream. You've probably seen them in sci-fi movies, but they're way weirder than that. They're basically super amounts of stuff crammed into a tiny space. Think of a star, way bigger than the sun, squished into an area the size of a city. The gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can get away. People have been curious about black holes for a long time. They've thought of them as objects in space so huge and thick that they can trap light. Einstein's theory of relativity predicted what they are like. Basically, when a big star dies, it leaves behind a center. If this center is more massive than the sun, gravity takes over, and boom, you've got a black hole. It's not easy to spot black holes because they don't give off any light. But scientists have found ways to see them by watching how they affect things nearby. For instance, if a black hole moves through gas in space, it'll suck that gas in. Also, if a star gets too close to a black hole, it can get ripped apart, shooting out X-rays. Black holes also seriously mess with their surroundings. They can eat up stars, blast out gas, and even mess with how new stars form. So, where do black holes come from? Sometimes, big stars explode in a supernova, which is their way of dying. Black holes are born from what's left. Most black holes come from massive stars that went supernova. Smaller stars become neutron stars when they die, which are very dense, but not dense enough to trap light. That if a star is bigger than our sun, it collapses and turns into a black hole. As this happens, something weird happens close to the surface. Time starts to get wonky. If you're watching from a distance, time seems to slow down around the point where nothing can escape. Sometimes, two smaller black holes crash into each other and make one bigger, scarier black hole. And if a black hole messes with a neutron star, it's a total nightmare. Scientists have been struggling with the size of these insane things. Black holes come in two sizes, big and huge. But here's the thing, small is relative when we are talking about black holes. The very big black holes, which are the leftovers of crazy big stars, can be 10 to multiple times the size of the sun. There could be millions of them in our galaxy alone. But wait, there's something even bigger. Very large black holes are on the far end of the spectrum. They're millions or billions of times bigger than the sun. They hang out in the center of galaxies, like our own Milky Way. Stephen Hawking talked about black holes a lot. His talks were interesting, but we couldn't test some of his ideas because we didn't have the right equipment. But there's hope. One scientific tool is changing things. We're talking about the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST. The JWST is incredibly special. Sure, we've launched other space telescopes, and they were fine, but this one is amazing. The JWST makes Hubble, which has been great for years, look like a speck. And it cost $10 billion. NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency worked together, along with many universities. But it wasn't easy. The JWST is going to new places and pushing our limits. After a good launch, NASA said the telescope has enough fuel to last more than twice as long as planned. Since it launched, the JWST has done some awesome things. It traveled over 1 million miles to get to its orbit around the Sun. It also unfolded its huge sun shield and mirror, which had to be folded up to fit in the rocket. Now NASA has gotten it ready, and it's almost ready to go. One of the coolest things was when NASA showed off the first pictures of starlight taken by the JWST. The first photo was of a star called HD 8446, which looked like 18 scattered dots. Later, NASA put those dots together into a hexagon. With its new tech, the JWST will help scientists study the start of the universe after the Big Bang. It'll look at what happened when the first stars formed. The telescope will also help us find exoplanets, which are hard to spot. It can study these planets in detail, and maybe even take pictures of their air. Knowing about the air and conditions on other planets could help us figure out which ones might be good places to live. Besides studying planets, scientists are checking out galaxies to see how things are arranged on a large scale and how galaxies have changed. One of the JWST's goals is to look at the earliest galaxies to understand how they changed. But most importantly, the James Webb Space Telescope will help us answer the biggest questions. Are we alone in the universe, and are we living inside a black hole? The JWST has already been searching, and it found stuff hiding around those super black holes in 3 galaxies. These were carbon-based molecules which are everywhere from galaxies to comets. Now, in those areas near the black holes, the radiation was messing with the molecules, turning them into bigger versions of themselves. The question here is, does everything around us exist because of how we see it? Are we just living inside a huge black hole? It makes you wonder, is our reality just a fake? The idea that we might be inside a black hole changes everything we know about time, space, and matter. What if the Big Bang wasn't the start of everything, but something that happened inside something bigger? As we learn more about black holes, we might find out if there are other universes or dimensions out there. Could black holes be the key, or bridges to other worlds? The James Webb Space Telescope is a step toward figuring out these things. It has already found things we never thought we could. As it looks deeper into space, it might answer the questions we've had for ages. Are we alone? Are we just a small part of something bigger?